Peace, love, love. All right, we are back for another video. So before we get into the winter wellness, because that's what we're going to talk about today, I want you to make sure that you are signed up for the email list on my website, comedicarts24.space. So go ahead and sign up for the email list. That's where you will get all of the exclusive videos, you'll get recipes, you'll get the event calendar, you'll get specials when you come to the workshops, all kind of good stuff. So go ahead and sign up for that email because I am going to attach a couple of recipes to this video along with a couple of more tips. I'm going to get into a little bit more detail about winter wellness and dealing with grief in the blog through the email list that I sent to you all to your inbox. So go ahead and sign up at comedicarts24.space. I will put it down in the comments so you all can go right to it. All right, so this is another one. We're going to get right into it. This is another one from Christina P. She's sending a lot of really good questions and topics. So give thanks, Christina. Love, sister. So we're going to talk about winter wellness. Yes, she was specifically asking about how do you stay healthy during this time? So if you've been to my workshops and classes, I talk a lot about the seasons, how our ancestors move with the seasons. I talk a lot about the cycles. I talk a lot about patterns and how we return to certain cycles in order to grow stronger, grow healthier, in order to learn our patterns and behaviors to strengthen the generations forward. Part of that is also recognizing the seasons during the times when we should be slowing down, when we should be doing a little bit more, in alignment with our body as we recognize the natural seasons, the universal changes, all of those things. So now that it's winter, it's time to slow down. Period. During the fall time is when we collect our harvest. We make sure we're wrapping up things so that we can be in the comforts and the space of our home, in our own space, reserving our energy because things have slowed down. So just like the trees and all the animals, they start to stock up things for the winter and the leaves fall off the trees because it's time for them to rest or whatever the trees do in the wintertime. But so we are the same way, and we really want to observe that in ourselves. Our physiological body, the way we slow down, the way our body responds to these universal changes, these natural patterns, is going to be the same way that it's reflected in nature. So yeah, it's time to slow down. So this is the time for me when my traveling slows down unless I'm doing like the holiday things. But usually I'm in. A lot of my work now is pulled into the home. And I'm doing a lot more of grounding work. This is a time where I'm reflecting. I'm going over the details of my service, my work, my personal reflections, all of those things. It's a really good time to journal. It's a really good time to rest and take it easy. It's a really good time to just enjoy the comfort of family and the comfort of your home. So through that, so we just had Thanksgiving, right? For those of you all that celebrate that holiday, I celebrate family during the holiday. It's the time when my family chooses to get together, so I choose to be with them during that time. So we had the typical meals. I don't necessarily partake in the meat parts, but I, do like my sweets. I like my cakes and I like my sugars. So this is the time where I indulge in a little bit of that. With moderation. This is a good time for, to cut out the sugars. So before that, I have not had sugar in my home for a while other than a natural honey, the raw honey. I don't try to consume sugar. I might have my chocolate, things like that every once in a while. But cutting down the sugars is a major part during the season because when you put those sugars in your body, it automatically attacks the immune system. Well, it allows your immune system to to kind of slow down and shut down. So when your immune system slows down and starts to shut down, then a lot of those colds and those flu and all the other viruses and things like that start to really affect the body, especially when you're eating things during the holidays that you don't normally eat. You start to, I know a lot of people were talking about how they, start to suffer from immune, deficiencies because you're eating things that your body is not normally eating. So your body is trying to figure out how to process where it goes, and you're just putting these toxins a lot of the times into your body. So your immune system really starts to try to battle against that, and that's when, again, you're more open to the viruses and the bacteria and all that other stuff. So cutting out the sugars. I understand, like I said, I like my sweets during the holidays, so really still being very mindful about the amount that you're eating, how you're eating it. Also, seasonal cleanses. Seasonal cleanses is really, really key. It helps you to attune your mind, body, and spirit to that season. So you're going to, it's a good time, like especially in between the holidays, to do a cleanse, to kind of keep your body, cleanse out all that stuff and to keep your body running the way that it should, keep your immune system running properly. Not overeating. A lot of people like to overeat during the holidays. So not overeating, really knowing and understanding your limit, especially if you guys know that your family's going to cook a lot. You can put up a plate for later, put up a plate for tomorrow, have your maybe 1.5, 2 servings, and then put it up. No need to stuff yourself just because it's in front of you. I know you want to enjoy the time, you want to enjoy, the food, but really it's all about your health. Really being conscious about your health. This is a lifestyle, so it's something that you're going to live whether the holidays are here or not. Being healthy is a lifestyle. Another thing is what you eat. It's a really good time to eat those roots and those herbs. So I create, which I'm going to put the recipe in the email, I create a little tonic that is out of ginger, and honey and a couple of other things that really help to boost the immune system. And it's like it has its medicinal properties, and it just really, really warms up the body and keeps the immune system going. So it's a couple of things like that. Today I had a shot from my friend Bill. Shout out to Bill, the knee pain guru, who gave me a shot of what he called a fire cider. And it was so good. It was so good. So you guys will have to find that for yourself. But if I put that together, then I'll share the recipe. But it's various things that you can do to collect herbs and roots and to make them as tonics, make them as, little shots so that you can take them daily and you can put them in your teas, things like that. Also, the herbal teas are very, very good as well. So with that, slowing down, I know for me, I am in an area where there's a lot of hiking, there's a lot of nature, and I like to do that all year. Well, pause. Most of the year, all 3 seasons except for the winter. Once it gets cold, it's way tougher to go up into the mountains where it's even 20 degrees below where it is here down on, this level. So I start to slow down and on my exercise, which is not necessarily good because my body responds to that almost immediately. So one of the things that I have done is that I brought my exercise indoors into my home. You get those little cheap weights, you get those little resistance bands, whatever you need to do, and definitely the yoga mat, and you do 15 minutes a day. Keeping up your exercise routine. It keeps your weight from fluctuating during the holidays, and it also keeps your immune system going. It keeps you very, very healthy. So bring that exercise indoors and just do a little bit every day. That helps. With going back to the roots and herbs, I forgot. So one of the things that I also do, other than making tonics, is I put them into my foods. So I make a lot of good soups, a lot of good slow cooked meals, also bringing in that energy of slowing down. So I put a lot of things in my little crock pot or in my one pot like meal maker, and I make my one pot meals. And it just allows me to step away from the kitchen, for me to come in between, work or wherever I am, and to rest or to catch up on some other things while that is slowly cooking and processing. And that energy of slowing down, because it's slow cooked, is going into my meal as well. It's a lifestyle. We're slowing down in every way. Also, so this is the time where we're moving into solstice pretty soon. It's around the 20th of the month. So you want to observe that time. That is a really good time to do rituals. It's a really good time for you to observe the practice of slowing down and reflecting, and to rest. Make your space comfortable and pleasant to be around. I'm going to put a couple of tips around what you can do for the real rituals for the solstice. I'm going to put a couple of recipes in there, in the emails, and a couple of other things. I'll get into talking about grief around the holidays. This is a time where not just the holidays, but seasonally, because it's darker out sooner, where people start to get a little bit of the winter blues. So this is a good time for you to really get into those good coping skills and behaviors. It's going to help to keep you from going into depression and having a lot of anxiety around this time. So I will put those tips in the email, so you all check that out. I also have my booklets with plenty of recipes around there. So we have the 7-day live food cleanse. You can make it 3 days, you can make it 7 days, you can do 1 day, however you want to do it. But it's plenty of good recipes in here for you to try. I also have a yoga routine in here, a Myotic Flow yoga routine, where you can do some movement and practice every day. I have the superpower of self-love as well. This is the comfort foods. So this is all that good stuff that without the guilt, as well as some really good mental health and behavioral health tips to help deal with depression and anxiety, and some really good journaling prompts too to help you get through the winter and to reflect on some of those yearly cycles and patterns that we talked about. And I had what's in your meal plan. What's in your meal plan really gives you a breakdown of how to optimize your health through the things that you eat. So it's a lot of different recipes in here, as well as a grocery list, as well as a chart that kind of gives you some substitutes for different condiments and different meat substitutes and dairy substitutes. So all three of these are also on the website, and I'm going to put the links in the email and down below for you all to check these out if you would like to get some more recipes and ideas on how to stay healthy all year long, especially through the winter. So I appreciate you all. Leave your comments, like, share, subscribe. It's really, really great to see when you all really connect, and it helps me to be able to share more. So, yeah, peace.